21 Reasons why Aries is often misunderstood. Aries, Aries. The fiery and bold first sign of the zodiac, is often labeled as the most hated. But why does Aries carry such a controversial reputation? Is it their fearless honesty? Their competitive nature? Or their impulsive decisions that rub people the wrong way? Or could it be that Aries is simply misunderstood? Ruled by Mars, the planet of war and passion, Aries is a natural-born leader with an unstoppable drive. They are direct, action-oriented, and unafraid to speak their minds, traits that can be both inspiring and intimidating. While their bluntness might seem harsh, it stems from a place of truth. Their ambition can be mistaken for arrogance, and their confidence for recklessness. But is Aries really as difficult as people say? Or do their strengths outweigh their flaws? In this deep dive, we'll explore the reasons behind Aries' reputation, uncover the truth about their personality, and discover why this sign is often loved just as intensely as it is criticized. 1. Blunt honesty, the double-edged sword of Aries. One of the biggest reasons Aries is often misunderstood is their brutal honesty. They say what they think without hesitation, often skipping the filters that others use to soften their words. To Aries, honesty is a virtue. They believe in getting straight to the point rather than sugarcoating reality. While this makes them incredibly trustworthy, it can also make them come off as insensitive or even rude. For example, if a friend asks for an opinion on a new outfit, an Aries won't hesitate to say, "That color washes you out," instead of "maybe a different shade would suit you better." They don't mean harm, but their lack of tact can hurt feelings. Yet, in a world full of half-truths and hidden agendas, isn't it refreshing to have someone who tells it like it is? Aries' honesty might sting at times, but their words come from a place of sincerity, not malice. The challenge is learning when to be direct and when to be diplomatic. 2. Impulsiveness, acting first, thinking later. Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet of action, which makes them one of the most impulsive signs of the zodiac. They see something they want, and they go for it, without always considering the consequences. Whether it's making a major life decision on a whim, speaking before thinking, or jumping into a challenge headfirst, Aries thrives on the thrill of the moment. This impulsiveness can be both exciting and problematic. Imagine an Aries who suddenly decides to quit their job to start a business without a solid plan. Their courage is admirable, but their lack of foresight can lead to unnecessary struggles. In relationships, this trait can also cause trouble. They might say something in the heat of the moment and regret it later. However, Aries' impulsiveness also makes them bold risk-takers. They are the ones who innovate, break boundaries, and chase dreams fearlessly. If they learn to balance instinct with strategy, their impulsive nature becomes a powerful strength. 3. Competitive nature, always aiming to be the best. Aries was born to win. Whether it's in sports, academics, career, or even the smallest daily tasks, they can't help but turn everything into a competition. They don't just want to succeed, they need to be the best. While this drive makes them natural leaders and high achievers, it can also create tension. Imagine playing a friendly board game with an Aries. At first, they're just having fun, but the moment they sense a challenge, their energy shifts. They strategize, they push harder, and before you know it, they're fully in win-at-all-costs mode. While their passion is admirable, not everyone appreciates this level of intensity. But here's the thing, Aries' competitive spirit isn't just about beating others, it's about pushing themselves to their full potential. They thrive in challenges, and their determination often inspires those around them. If they can learn that not every moment needs to be a battle, they become unstoppable forces of motivation and success. 4. Short temper, fireworks waiting to explode. If there's one thing Aries doesn't have, it's patience. Their temper ignites quickly, like a match struck against rough wood. One moment, everything is fine. The next, they're fired up, passionately arguing their point or storming out of the room. This intensity can be intimidating, making Aries seem aggressive or difficult to deal with. Picture this, an Aries is waiting in line at a coffee shop, and the person in front of them is taking forever to decide. They shift from foot to foot, sigh loudly, and might even mutter, "Come on. It's just coffee." Their frustration is instant and visible. They don't mean to be rude, it's just that Aries runs on speed and action. But here's the twist, while their anger comes fast, it also fades just as quickly. Aries doesn't hold grudges. They might explode in the moment, but 5 minutes later, they're back to normal, completely over it. Those who understand this about Aries will see their fiery temper not as a flaw, but as a reflection of their passionate and high-energy nature. 5. Dominance, a natural leader, sometimes too much so. Aries is a leader, not a follower. They don't wait for permission to take charge, they naturally assume the role of the one in control. In group projects, at work, or even in friendships, Aries instinctively steps up, making decisions and taking action before others even realize a choice needs to be made. This leadership quality is a strength, but when unchecked, it can come across as bossy or controlling. Think about an Aries planning a group trip. Before anyone else has a chance to give input, Aries has already booked flights, made reservations, and planned the itinerary. Their initiative is impressive, but what if others wanted to have a say? The key for Aries is learning the balance between leading and listening. Their ability to take charge is inspiring, but true leadership also means knowing when to step back and let others shine. Once Aries masters this, they become not just powerful leaders, but also deeply respected ones. 6. Restlessness, the need for constant action. Stillness is Aries' worst enemy. They thrive on movement, challenges, and new experiences. If they're not working toward a goal, solving a problem, or chasing an adventure, they feel stuck. This restless energy makes them exciting to be around, but it can also be exhausting for others. Imagine dating an Aries. One moment, they're planning a spontaneous road trip, the next, they're signing up for a new hobby. Their energy is magnetic, but it can also make them seem inconsistent. They might jump from one project to another, leaving things unfinished because something new and exciting caught their attention. But Aries' restlessness isn't a flaw, it's their fire. They bring excitement to life, pushing boundaries and inspiring change. If they can learn to focus their energy and finish what they start, there's truly nothing they can't accomplish. Fire, what's next? Aries might be fiery, impulsive, and intense, but they are also bold, inspiring, and full of life. Keep watching as we dive deeper into the reasons why Aries is one of the most misunderstood signs of the zodiac. 7. Self-centeredness, focused on their own path. Aries is fiercely independent and goal-driven, often laser-focused on their own ambitions. They don't mean to be selfish, but their me-first mentality can sometimes make them seem self-absorbed. It's not that they don't care about others, it's just that their personal journey always comes first. Picture an Aries friend who is training for a marathon. They might skip social gatherings, forget birthdays, or tune out conversations that don't interest them. It's not that they don't value friendships, they just get so wrapped up in their own pursuits that they unintentionally neglect the people around them. However, Aries' self-focus is also what makes them successful. They don't wait for approval or permission, they chase after their dreams with relentless energy. The key for Aries is learning to balance ambition with empathy. When they take the time to listen and show consideration, they become not just inspiring individuals, but also deeply valued friends and partners. Point 8. Lack of tact, brutally honest to a fault. If Aries thinks something, they say it, often without considering how their words might be received. Their bluntness is legendary. And while honesty is a great quality, Aries sometimes forgets that how they say something is just as important as what they say. Imagine an Aries at a family dinner. Their cousin announces a new job, and instead of offering a polite congratulations, Aries blurts out, "That company is awful. You should have gone for something better." They're not trying to be mean, they genuinely believe they're offering helpful advice. But to others, this can come across as harsh and dismissive. The upside: you'll always know where you stand with Aries. They don't play mind games, and they don't lie just to make you feel better. However, a little diplomacy goes a long way. If Aries learns to deliver the truth with a touch of sensitivity, they'll earn even more respect from those around them. 9. Impatience, Aries wants everything now. Waiting. Aries hates it. Whether it's standing in line, waiting for a text reply, or dealing with slow-moving people, patience is not their strong suit. They live life in the fast lane and expect everyone else to keep up. Picture an Aries in traffic. They honk at slow drivers, switch lanes constantly, and groan in frustration if they hit a red light. Their need for speed isn't just about driving, it's how they approach everything. If results don't come fast enough, they get restless and move on to the next thing. While their impatience can be frustrating to others, it also makes Aries incredibly productive. They don't sit around waiting for things to happen, they make things happen. The challenge for Aries is learning to slow down and trust the process. Not everything needs to be rushed. And sometimes, the best things take time to develop. 10. Risk-taking behavior, thriving on the edge. Aries isn't afraid of a challenge, in fact, they seek it out. They're bold. Fearless nature makes them natural risk-takers. Whether it's in business, sports, or personal decisions. While this courage often leads to great success, it can also backfire when they act without fully considering the risks. Imagine an Aries deciding to invest all their savings into a new business without thorough research. Their confidence is sky high. But if things go wrong, they might find themselves in trouble. Aries trusts their gut more than logic sometimes. And while that instinct can be powerful, it doesn't always guarantee success. But here's the thing, Some of the greatest innovators and leaders were Aries. They take the risks others won't. And that's why they often achieve incredible things. If they learn to balance their daring spirit with a bit of caution, they can truly become unstoppable. 11. Stubbornness, the Aries way or no way. Once Aries has made up their mind, good luck trying to change it. Their determination is admirable, but their unwillingness to consider other viewpoints can make them frustratingly stubborn. They believe in their own decisions, and once they commit to something, they stick to it, sometimes to a fault. Picture an Aries in a debate. Even if they realize they might be wrong, they won't back down. They'll double down on their argument just to prove a point. To them, admitting they're wrong feels like losing, and Aries hates to lose. However, this same stubbornness is also what makes Aries so resilient. They don't give up easily, and they push through obstacles that would make others quit. If they can learn that changing their mind isn't a sign of weakness, but a sign of growth, they'll become even more powerful. Fire, what's next? Aries may be intense, but they are also bold, courageous, and full of fire. Stay tuned as we continue uncovering the traits that make Aries one of the most fascinating and misunderstood signs in the zodiac. 12. Overconfidence, walking the fine line between bold and arrogant. Aries walks into a room like they own it. Their confidence is magnetic, and people are naturally drawn to their fearless energy. They know they can do anything they set their mind to, and they don't let doubt hold them back. However, this self-assuredness can sometimes come across as arrogance. Imagine an Aries joining a new workplace. Instead of quietly observing and learning, they immediately start giving suggestions, challenging the existing way of doing things. While their ideas may be brilliant, their delivery can make it seem like they think they're the smartest person in the room. But Aries' confidence isn't about superiority, it's about belief in themselves. They genuinely think anything is possible, which is why they achieve so much. If they learn to balance their boldness with humility, they won't just be admired for their achievements, but also respected for their wisdom. 13. Insensitivity, the warrior's emotional blind spot. Aries is a fighter. They charge forward, battle through life's challenges, and rarely stop to process emotions, either their own or others. While they care deeply, they don't always express it in the way people expect. This can make them seem emotionally detached or even insensitive. Picture a friend venting about their problems to an Aries. Instead of offering comfort, Aries immediately jumps to, "Just do this and move on." They mean well, but their direct approach can make people feel unheard or dismissed. However, Aries isn't heartless, they just show love differently. They believe in action over words. They might not say "I'm here for you," but they'll show up when it matters. If they take a moment to acknowledge emotions before jumping to solutions, they'll build even deeper connections with the people around them. 14. Independence, a lone wolf in a world of connections. Aries hates relying on others. They prefer to do things on their own. In their own way? On their own timeline? This fierce independence makes them incredibly self-sufficient. But it can also make them seem distant or unwilling to collaborate. Imagine an Aries planning a big move. Instead of asking for help, they pack, carry furniture, and drive across town alone, just to prove they can. While their strength is impressive, It can also leave loved ones feeling unneeded or left out. But Aries isn't pushing people away, they just don't want to burden anyone. They take pride in handling things solo. But if they learn that asking for help isn't weakness, they'll discover the power of partnership. When Aries lets others in, they become even stronger than they were alone. 15. Difficulty in apologizing, the pride of Aries. If there's one thing Aries hates more than losing, it's admitting they were wrong. Their strong personality and confidence make it hard for them to back down, even when they realize they made a mistake. Apologizing feels like defeat, and Aries doesn't do defeat. Picture an argument between Aries and a close friend. Even if Aries knows they overreacted, instead of saying, "I'm sorry," they might say, "Well, you shouldn't have made me mad in the first place." They'd rather justify their actions than admit fault. However, when Aries does apologize, it's genuine. They don't offer half-hearted sorries, they take full responsibility. The key is learning that apologizing doesn't mean losing, it means valuing relationships over ego. When Aries embraces this, they become not just strong leaders, but also deeply respected and loved. Fire, what's next? Aries may be fiery and intense, but they are also full of passion and heart. Keep watching as we dive even deeper into the traits that make Aries one of the most fascinating and misunderstood signs in the zodiac. 16. Jealousy, the hidden insecurity behind Aries' confidence. Aries exudes confidence, but deep down, they have a competitive streak that can sometimes turn into jealousy. They always want to be the best. And when they feel like someone is outshining them, it triggers their inner fire. They won't always admit it, but they hate feeling second place. Imagine an Aries in a workplace where a new colleague is getting all the attention. Instead of expressing their feelings, Aries pushes themselves even harder, determined to prove they're the real star. While this drive can lead to great success, it can also make them seem overly competitive or possessive. However, Aries' jealousy isn't rooted in insecurity, it's a reflection of their hunger for greatness. If they learn to turn envy into inspiration rather than rivalry, they can channel their energy in a way that benefits everyone. Instead of seeing others as threats, Aries thrives when they recognize that there's enough success for everyone. 17. Overexertion, burning the candle at both ends. Aries doesn't believe in halfway, they go all in. Whether it's work, hobbies, or relationships, they push themselves to the limit. They thrive under pressure and love the adrenaline rush of being busy. But this relentless pace often leads to exhaustion and burnout. Picture an Aries taking on multiple projects at once, working late nights, hitting the gym at 5 a.m., planning weekend adventures, and still saying yes to every social event. At first, they feel unstoppable. But eventually, their body and mind demand rest, forcing them to slow down, something Aries hates. The lesson Aries must learn: rest is not weakness. Taking breaks doesn't mean they're losing momentum, it means they're recharging for the next big win. When Aries embraces balance, they become even more powerful and unstoppable. 18. Disregard for rules, living life on their own terms. Rules? Aries sees them as guidelines rather than strict laws. They thrive on freedom and hate being told what to do. If a rule doesn't make sense to them, they'll break it without hesitation, sometimes just to prove they can. Imagine an Aries at work, given a strict set of procedures to follow. Instead of sticking to the script, they find a faster, more efficient way, completely ignoring the instructions. While their innovation is impressive, their disregard for structure can ruffle feathers, especially with authority figures. But here's what makes Aries special: they are trailblazers. They challenge outdated traditions, push boundaries, and create new paths where none existed before. If they learn when to respect rules and when to bend them, they become unstoppable leaders who bring real change. 19. Inconsistency, the excitement of starting, the struggle of finishing. Aries is an idea machine. They get excited about new projects, hobbies, and adventures, diving in with full enthusiasm. But once the initial excitement wears off, they're already looking for the next big thing. This tendency makes them seem unreliable or inconsistent. Think about an Aries who decides to learn guitar. They buy the best instrument, take a few lessons, and practice intensely for a week. But then, they see a friend learning photography, and suddenly, the guitar is forgotten. It's not that Aries isn't capable of following through, they just crave constant excitement. However, Aries can master consistency by channeling their passion into long-term goals. If they learn to push through the boring phases of a project, they'll not only start things with excitement but also finish them with success. 20. Overprotectiveness, fierce love that can feel overbearing. Aries is loyal to the core. When they care about someone, they become fiercely protective, sometimes too much. Whether it's friends, family, or a romantic partner, they will fight for the people they love, even when it's not necessary. Imagine an Aries hearing that their sibling was mistreated at work. Instead of offering advice, they immediately want to confront the boss. Their instinct is to act. But sometimes, their protectiveness can feel overbearing, making others feel like Aries doesn't trust them to handle their own problems. The truth: Aries' overprotectiveness comes from love, not control. If they learn to support rather than take over, their relationships will be even stronger. Being a warrior for loved ones is great. But sometimes, the best way to protect someone is to let them fight their own battles. 21. Difficulty with authority, Aries hates being told what to do. Aries was born to lead, not to follow. They have strong opinions and hate being micromanaged. If a boss, teacher, or parent tries to control them, Aries' natural reaction is to rebel, sometimes just for the sake of proving their independence. Picture an Aries employee with a boss who insists on doing things their way. Aries won't blindly follow instructions, they'll challenge authority, question decisions, and find their own path. While this makes them innovative, it can also cause conflicts in structured environments. But Aries' defiance isn't about ego, it's about freedom. They want to think for themselves, not be forced into a mold. If they learn to balance their independence with collaboration, they won't just be rebels, they'll be revolutionaries who change the world. Fire, final thoughts. Aries, the most loved and hated sign. Yes, Aries is fiery, intense, and sometimes overwhelming. But they are also passionate, courageous, and inspiring. They may be misunderstood, but those who truly know Aries see their heart of gold. So, Is Aries really the most hated zodiac sign? Or are they simply too bold for some to handle? One thing is certain, love them or hate them, you'll never ignore an Aries. They were born to stand out. Collision, Aries, fire. Fire, love this deep dive into Aries. If you enjoyed this video and want more insightful astrology content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, bell. On the path to Buddhist wisdom, we explore the universe, spirituality, and the hidden truths behind astrology, self-growth, and the deeper meaning of life, sparkles. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment sharing your Aries experiences, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let's continue this journey of wisdom together. Africa, Aries, fire. Subscribe now.